Hi, Brave Friends. It's Laura Hayes from the Brave Girl Project, and I'm jumping on real quick to do a Facebook Live because today is October 1st, and October is Bullying Prevention Month. So I wanted to kind of share a little information on some of the warning signs for bullying. And this whole month, I'm going to cover some different tips to help our kiddos and to also help ourselves as parents. So bullying, there's three components that are in any bullying situation. First, the behavior is unwanted. It upsets the intended target. There's an impower balance, whether it's someone's physically bigger, socially perhaps has more friends. And then third, it's repeated, it's ongoing, or the possibility of it occurring again are very high. So there are some warning tips because a lot of times what's happening is our kids aren't always reporting to us that they're experiencing bullying. And we start to sometimes notice different things that are happening, and we may not always understand what that sign is telling us. So here are some signs that your child might be experiencing bullying. They may be the target. So one, if your child is complaining of stomach aches and headaches and they are refusing to go to school, that is oftentimes a sign that there's something going on at school and they're trying to escape. So that's a key thing to start to pay attention to. If perhaps they're losing different articles, favorite items, maybe a book, a backpack, a lunch sack, a water bottle, that might be a sign that, hey, something's going on in a relationship. If there's a change in friendships, maybe your child is no longer wanting to participate in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, or they don't want to hang out with a certain group of people, there could be something going on within that group. If they are avoiding, like how I said, like avoiding that social situation and really wanting to spend just more time at home, and they're not using some of the other devices that they may have normally used to reach out to friends, like they're no longer using their phone, they're not on Instagram anymore, and you're noticing that there's kind of that avoidance of the social media. A decline in grades can always be a sign of, obviously a lot of things going on. But if you're experiencing bullying and you're in a classroom with that person who is bullying you, it makes it really hard to focus. If you're also noticing a decrease in their self-esteem, that's a big sign that something's going on. Something is having an impact that's changing how they view themselves. What I recommend is starting a conversation, because kids oftentimes are embarrassed when they experience bullying. Even if we know maybe the statement or what they're being bullied about isn't true, or it would seem like a very small thing, but to the kid, it can be very embarrassing. So since it is October is Bullying Prevention Month, that's a perfect opportunity to start having just some discussions and asking, like, what does bullying look like in your school? Or what is it like for kids at your school who are bullied? And then it kind of gives you kind of an in to seeing what they report, what is their experience like, and maybe are they going to share something. During this time also, you'll notice a lot of times on different kids networks like Cartoon Network, you'll see a lot of those stopbully.gov commercials or PSAs. And so that's a great time to kind of piggyback into that question and ask, oh my gosh, like in that scenario, what do you think you would do? But then also sometimes it can run the gamut where our kids can be a victim one day, but then also they can be the bully themselves, and it can be very fluid. And that's very hard because I think when we were growing up, you might kind of have that vision of that one student that was maybe bigger than you or maybe more popular, and that person was always the bully. And it's not really the case nowadays. There's so much flux in the relationships. So key things to pay attention to see if your child is actually the bully is, is their popularity kind of like almost the most important thing to them? Are they always trying to maintain their status in a group, or very concerned with being popular? That can kind of be a warning sign that they're placing a lot of pressure on themselves to maintain that status, and that with maintaining that status, they'll do anything to keep it. Do they have some objects or belongings that they've not been able to explain how they've come across? Maybe they have like a book that you didn't get for them at the book fair, or you just don't think it's a library book. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Do you notice a lot of people texting and kind of your child being the center of the social hub and the disseminator of all the information that's going on in the group? Does your child get very frustrated when things don't go their way with friends? Like if a friend comes over or can't come over, they get overly upset about the situation. Do you notice your child, let me see, I think there's another, not accepting responsibility for their actions. That's another important thing that maybe if you notice, and it's always hard as we're growing up to sometimes accept responsibility, but if your child, that they've had this problem, that may be an issue that they might be then taking out on the kids in the classroom. Also paying attention to any comments that you hear from the teacher. If they're sharing some things and you're getting kind of concerned that there's like maybe a pattern going on as your child's getting older, now maybe they're in third grade and you're noticing more of a pattern, that's going to be very important. Or if they're actually receiving discipline action. So I'll go into more of that as how to help our kiddos who are actually the bully. But I wish you well, because I know that growing up is tough, and it's especially hard when our heart basically is going out into school, and we wish our kids well, and we're sometimes scared for them. And parenting is a puzzle. So hopefully just knowing some of the signs to look for can help you get a little clear on what might be going on in your child's life. I'm going to share some other great resources, websites. Books are a great way to kind of open the conversation with your child so you can start to talk about it and do that through the lens of the character. And I'll also post some good books that I've read that I really kind of love. If you're a parent of a girl, one of my favorites is Odd Girl Out. That's a great one. Another great book for moms of girls is Swimming Upstream, Parenting Girls for Resilience in a Toxic Culture. And there's a couple others on my bookcase, and I don't have my glasses on, so obviously I can't read. And I can see that I have some friends on, so hi friends. I can't read your names either. I just don't like to wear the glasses all the time. I don't worry that you're going to bully me though, so I should just wear them. I'm cool with the glasses. But I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will be on live again on Wednesday. So take care, and I will talk to you soon. Remember to live life bravely. Thanks so much. Bye.